Master Nutritionist delves into heavy topics such as mental illness and suicide. Lean into the heaviness, allow yourselves to feel. Let's all hold each other in the emotions that this poem brings to light. Please do as you have to in order to take care of yourselves, whether that be leaving, crying, or holding the hand of the person next to you.
The nutritionist told me to eat root vegetables. Said if I could get down 13 turnips each day, I would be grounded, rooted. Said my head would not keep flying away to where the darkness lives.
The psychic told me that my heart carries too much weight. Said for $20 she'd tell me what to do. So I handed her the 20 and she said, "Darling, don't worry. You'll find a good man soon."
The first psychotherapist said I should spend 3 hours each day sitting in a dark closet with my eyes closed, my ears plugged. I tried it once, but I couldn't stop thinking about how gay it was to be sitting in the closet. The yogi told me to stretch everything but the truth. Said to focus on the out-breath so that everyone can find happiness if you can care more about what you can give than what you get.
The pharmacist said, Klonopin, Lamitol, Lithium, Xanax. The doctor said an antipsychotic might help me forget what the trauma said. The trauma said,
"Don't write this poem. Nobody wants to hear you cry about the grief inside your bones." But my bones said,
Tyler Clementi dove into the Hudson River convinced that he was entirely alone.
my bones said,
Write the poem. To the lamplight considering the riverbed, the chandelier of your faith hanging by a thread, to every day you cannot get out of bed, to the bullseye of your wrist, to anyone who has ever wanted to die.
I have been told sometimes the most healing thing we can do is remind ourselves over and over and over. Other people feel this too.
The tomorrow that has come and gone, and it has not gotten better.
When you're half finished writing that letter to your mother that says, "I swear to God I tried." But when I thought I'd hit bottom, it started hitting back.
There is no bruise like a bruise loneliness kicks into your spine. So let me tell you, I know there are days where it looks like the whole world is dancing while you break down like the doors of their rooted buildings.
You are not alone in wondering who will be convicted of the crime of insisting you keep loading your grief into the chamber of your shame.
You are not weak. Just because your heart feels so heavy, I have never met a heavy heart that wasn't a phone booth with a red cape inside.
Some people will never understand the kind of superpower it takes for some people to just walk outside some days. I know my smile can look like the gutter of a falling house, but my hands are always holding tight to the ripcord of believing a life can be rich like the soil, can make food of decay, turn wound into highway.
Pick me up in a truck with that bumper sticker that says, "It is no measure of good health to be well adjusted to a sick society."
I have never trusted anyone with the pulled back bow of my spine the way I trust the ones who come undone at the throat, screaming at their pulses to find the fight to pound.
4 nights before Tyler Clementi jumped from the George Washington Bridge, I was in a hotel room in my own town, calculating exactly what I had to swallow to keep a bottle of sleeping pills down. What I know about living is the pain is never just ours.
Every time I hurt, I know the wound is an echo. So I keep listening for the moment the grief becomes a window when I can see what I couldn't see before through the glass of my most battered dream. I watched a dandelion lose its mind in the wind, and when it did, it scattered 1,000 seeds.
The next time I tell you how easily I come out of my skin, don't try to put me back in. Just say, here we are, together at the window, aching for it all to get better, but knowing there's a chance that our hearts may have only just skinned their knees. Knowing there's a chance the worst days might still be coming.
Let me say, right now for the record, I'm still gonna be here, asking this world to dance, even if it keeps stepping on my holy feet.
You stay here with me, okay?
You stay here with me, raising your bite against the bitter dark, your bright longing, your brilliant fists of loss.
Friend, the only thing we have to gain in staying is each other. My
My
God,
God.
that is plenty. My
My
God,
God.
that is enough. My
My
God,
God.
that is so, so much for the light to give. each of us at each other's backs, whispering over and over and over, live, live, live.
The concept of la bruja, or witch for all you gringos out there, calls to mind the image of the evil seductress many of us saw depicted in childhood folktales. Known to be malevolent murderesses, brujas bring affliction and misery to others. Many feminist scholars have long argued that brujas actually developed this negative connotation because of Western Catholic colonizers who forbade and demonized Afro and indigenous religious practices in Las Americas. These religious practices often centered female healers, or brujas, who at the time resisted when those colonizers sought to destroy their culture, their spirituality, their sexuality, and their Many brujas have had to sacrifice parts of their identity and creativity throughout the centuries in fear of being termed a bruja or even effeminate today. This poem, which is actually a prayer, is dedicated to all brujas in the audience tonight, who may have, like myself, had a part of my identity, my mother tongue in particular, shamed away from me at a young age due to assimilation and fear of being otherized by my community. In a world of anti-queer, anti-Latinx, and anti-women narratives, choosing to believe in the power that lives in these bodies is an act of resistance. And to say that one is a bruja is to believe in the agency taught through ancestry and to know that among marginalized groups, there has always been magic. This is only the dawn of La Bruja, which is, after all, are healers for the herd, and this world could definitely use more of it. Me pongo la pulsera de cuentas amarillas, acaricio mis caderas fuertes, fertiles, peino mis rizos negros y limpio mi alma con salvia. Contemplo mi ser y me embrujo. Te invoco, querida Oshun, en busco de la llama de mi pasión. No necesariamente a mi chango allá, sino al chango de aquí, en los labios de mi corazón. Y en el corazón de mi concha busco la fuente de mi deseo. Y en mi lengua también la encontraré. Mi lengua, capaz de seducir con sus palabritas suavecitas, sabor de miel, lengua hambrienta, con su saliva sabor de ron, lengua que se suelta, hacia mi liberación. Yo soy una mujer sincera, que goza del amor. Puta no, pura tampoco. Puta pura bruja sí, consciente, vestida en toda nuestra América. Ochun, curandera, panochera, me entrego a tu poder, bailo en el fuego de tus aguas y en tu dulce calor seguiré. ¿Bailamos?
Please feel free to enjoy the art outside. Within the monologue, the author makes reference to the fact that 1 in 3 women are victims of sexual assault in the United States. It is imperative to recognize that transgender, genderqueer, and non-binary people are also at a high risk of sexual assault, especially on college campuses. Cis men are at risk as well. This piece describes a number of ways in which sexual assault is perpetuated by strangers. Although in 8 out of 10 cases of rape, the victim knew the person who sexually assaulted them. This piece is included within our collection because rape culture is ridiculously prevalent in our current society, and especially in our lives as college students. This is but one story of what rape culture feels like, which we are all a part of and affected by.
Specifically, this piece is a call out to those of us who can and do participate in voluntourism and jetting off to distant lands to dabble in the cultures, joys, and pains of the complicit and ignorant to that of folks in our own city. White girl, don't tell me about El Salvador or Nicaragua, especially if you've been there on an educational vacation. Tell me about First Street in Seattle, the bench where the drunk Indians hang out. Tell me how long we've been wearing these same clothes. When was the last time we had something good to eat? Tell me about the Iranian pilot who built our houses out of down in the four corners. Tell me about seeing your supposed people endlessly flickering across gray screens and still being called savages. White girl, don't tell me about South Africa. Tell me about Philadelphia, where a black man slept in the snow and nobody cared but me. Tell me about being an 11-year-old girl whose leg is shot off because she was accidentally in the way of an argument the numbers runner was having with the mafia man. Tell me about having a mother so drunk that she can't take care of you because even sober she knows that she can't give you what you need. For every hungry belly you want to blame on somebody else, somewhere else, exotic or romantic, I can show you 10 bellies here as empty as your words.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about the prison conditions in Russia or Peru or Argentina. Let me take you to Purdy, white girl. I'll show you some torture that works and works and works, doesn't leave a mark. Somewhere else is safe, and not your fault and not your responsibility. Easy to be outraged and want to save somebody on your white horse airplane. Come back with slides to show me how horrible it is down there. Gore gleaming in your eyes, your excitement just held in. I'll show you blood on every street in America. You aren't the latest fad in your candy striper life. You want genocide? Take a look at the road going past your house, honey. It is killing us. Don't send me letters asking me to mail you money so you can go here or there to see how things are because you need an eye exam right here in this town. I have El Salvador and South Africa in my throat when I stare down two white ladies staring at me in the fish and chips. When I go on vacation, if I ever have the goal to ask you to send me money, I'm going to stay right here. Just have clean toilets for 2 weeks, which should be quite educational. Stop crying, stop whining. Don't need 5,000 miles away to a land whose words you barely speak, if at all. Right here, now, genocide. I'll tell you about it.
sharing this space with us tonight.
Okay, y'all, let's be real. Sky and Sue put so much work in this. This show has
No, but for real, y'all don't understand. We just wanted to emphasize that these two will not give themselves the credit they deserve. Like, this entire production, oh my God. It's so much. They brought out so much. They saw things in myself and everyone on the stage that, like, we couldn't even see. Thank them for allowing us to have this platform. It's like a really big one.
Thank y'all so much for coming out tonight.
Anyway.
If you haven't bought a zine yet, make sure to get one of those. Remember that those go out.
Actually, we sold out of them.
Just kidding.
Thank y'all. Wow.
Yeah.
One more note, just because of how personal and how important some of these pieces were to our cast, just make sure after the show that if you do see our cast, you don't prod them for further explanation for their pieces, don't hug them or touch them without their permission. Just be really courteous and respectful.
Yeah. And we actually, we have some flyers out on the tables outside with some other events that are going on in the community. There's a slam event as well.